Welcome to the Nasomi stream for the Nasomi private server. It's February 22nd, 2019. And that camera isn't high enough. Yes, it is. Okay, I wasn't scrolled up all the way. Anyway, welcome. Got the main camera back online. Turns out they didn't like having two cameras plugged into one hub. So we got that fixed and sorted out. Audio levels, of course. Alright, how's that? Any better? Just adjust the gain on the microphone a little bit. Alright. Sounds good. Yeah. So, in the past week, unfortunately we missed the stream last week because I was busy. I was really busy testing some stuff. We had some stability stuff. Another round of RMT bans. I think there was like 30 some odd people that got mixed up in it. The website was attacked a couple times. Thanks to Cloudflare, they have reported that they have protected against 6 DDoS attacks in the past week, or the past 2 weeks. So that's good. Minus that little hiccup last night. I went into the Cloudflare site and they said it was more damage than they could absorb. But fortunately it only lasted a couple seconds before they were able to adapt. So, that's fixed. Yeah, there was a problem with, we were working on Puppet Master. We're trying to get that out in the next patch. First round of ZNMs, tier 1 ZNMs are coming out. Some adjustments to phishing, some adjustments to range damage. Yeah. A lot of stuff coming in the next patch. So, I hope you look forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it and seeing how players react and seeing what they're excited about. Definitely, a lot of people have been looking forward to Puppet Master. Same with the Tier 1 ZNMs. Once the Tier 1 ZNMs go live, there's going to be a system to set up where you can buy pop items for the Tier 1, and then the Tier 1s will drop Tier 2s, Tier 2s will drop Tier 3s, and then 4s, and etc. So there won't be those taking pictures of monsters, that system. So it's primarily to filter gil out of the economy. We're sitting at 5.7 billion right now. So that's a pretty good number for the population. We're still monitoring the rate of gil entering the economy and the rate that gil is leaving the economy. And right now it's about 7,000 gil per person per day. So that's the standard and steady rate of growth, and it's sustainable. So that's good. So, also we're bringing back the hourglasses for Dynamis, and the hourglasses will be priced at about 500,000 a pop. And then you can repeat the hourglasses, and that way nobody that is in your Dynamis instance and you didn't give an hourglass, or nobody can enter your Dynamis instance that you didn't give an hourglass to. So we're getting rid of that 50k per person thing. Years ago, that was a good system because, you know, a lot of people would low man Dynamis. You know, it was difficult. There weren't a whole lot of people on the server. Now that obviously has changed, so we're bringing back the hourglass system. So if you're entering with 18 men, it used to be 900,000 gil, and now the new system is 500,000. So you're gonna save about 400k. And you know, if you're trying to low man it, you know, 6 people, you know, it's not as financially efficient. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that we're looking forward to in the next maintenance. Next maintenance is to be determined. We have a couple hiccups about the Puppet Master, and trying to iron out the ZNMs. The ZNMs, those fights are much more complex than I anticipated. So, and they will, the tier 1 ZNM that is Puppet Master based will interact with the puppets and the Puppet Master appropriately. So that's good. Basically, each fight is like a whole VCNM, you know, level of complexity. But yeah, it's looking forward to it. Anyway, the Q&A. I'm gonna touch on the Q&A stuff a little bit. A lot of people we submitted, we have 102 questions, so I'm trying to work through them. I am logged in. You just can't see me. I just lost my train of thought. Oh well. Oh, so apparently some people were attacking the website with SQL injection, trying to drop stuff and, you know, gain access to the backend database with the games with the Q&A questions. Unfortunately, that was blocked, so security things that were operating like that were operating as intended. So that's good. Alright, we are going to be switching over to in-game. Alright. Oh, that's far away. And if you're local to the dunes and want to pop on over to the outpost, feel free. I'll be standing here. And I'm going to go and bring up a couple of these questions. One second. Bring up this chat. Any idea when you're going to be able to make password recovery available? I've been trying to get my old... So, if you do not have a legacy account, or if you do have a legacy account that is unbound, if you visit nasomi.com/chat or nasomi.net, you can drop me a private message and I will try to get that information restored. If you have a forum account and you have your game accounts bound, then it's already there. If you go to the forums and go to login, forgot password, request a new password, and then you can reset all your passwords for your game accounts right there on when you're logged into the account setting or the account page. Alright, I'm gonna jump into some of the Q&A questions. Are there any plans for creating a mobile-friendly site or alternative mobile app? There's currently not any plans for that. Most people have phones, iPhones, or some Android equivalent, and usually those are pretty good at browsing the internet for non-optimized sites. So right now there is not a plan for that. Maybe in the future, we'll see how things go. I found an available name to change my character to. I was wondering if this can be done. We currently do not support name changes. I'm sorry. White Coney should be given the draw-in ability of other H&Ms and possibly a rage timer. Yeah, we're not. So we're currently very involved in the treasures code. So White Coney, it may be reevaluated down the line, but not right now. With chat staff already in, do you plan to add the Gorgets? No. There's a reason for that. If you have the chat staff, you still need certain other staffs. It is not a everything staff rolled into one. Whereas the Gorgets, that is not the case. I'm stuck at Dynamis for 4 days now. Unstuck will not work. Please help me. So, if this happens, join NAS chat at nasomi.com/chat or nasomi.net and send me a private message saying you're stuck and I will get you helped. Why is there tax on bizarre items? What purpose does it serve? Tax on bizarre items serves the purpose of taking guilt out of the economy. You can't have guild just be a one-way street. People acquiring items from monsters and then selling them to an NPC. That's not, that's filtering guild into the game, but you have to have a way to take it out. For somebody who is interested in learning to code, what did you get started with that allowed you to do this? So, okay, this is a complex question. I would recommend, and this was AVELLION. So if you're watching, stop into NAS chat and send me a message, and I can get you help, get you started with that. It's too complex to go over with a stream. I can't even see myself. Valentine's Day jokes were a great touch. 10 out of 10 from Boulder. Thank you. Actually, they were in last year. You didn't notice. If each time you visit the Moogle will give you a one-liner. So it's just one of those little things that I thought people would find amusing or interesting or entertaining. So if you haven't seen that, stop in a Festive Moogle while the Valentine's event is going on and check them out. My main is now my mule, and I would like to swap them. Okay, so in the past couple days, there wasn't a lot. In the last couple days, I found out that the mule level cap wasn't being enforced, and I made a change to that, and now it is being enforced. If you were playing on your mule and not using your main or alt accounts, stop into NAS chat and send me a message, and I can swap those out for you and remove that cap. So if you have mule problems, let me know. Would you consider making force pop notorious monsters? With the increase in server population, the spawn is congested. No, that's kind of the goal. The goal is to make it exciting, entertaining, competitive. We're currently working on a different system that will A, eliminate claim bots, and B, eliminate the auto claim. So I think that's we're kind of looking forward to that. I've acquired a couple tools that were used back in the day for claim botting, where they could network a whole bunch of Final Fantasy clients across different people, and then they could communicate and tier the castings. So that's the last claim bot that I was working on, trying to circumvent, but we're working on that. So in the future there may be no more autoclaim, and it may be just down to skill. So we'll see. Hopefully that'll happen. Right now it's fair. Before it was exciting but not fair. Now it's fair but kind of dull. I'd rather have, optimistically I would have fair and exciting at the same time. Alright, scroll down a little bit. My mission is broken. Same thing, stop in NAS chat, send me a message. Why do you jail people for little things that don't cause any advantage over the player base? Because so every time I have to come out and investigate a player, it takes time. Even if it doesn't involve it doesn't include an advantage over other players, it's still something I have to investigate. It's something that takes up my time, and it's something that delays the progress of new content and new code. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's something that happens. Anybody found using unauthorized plugins, cheats, position hacks, warp hacks, exploits, or anything like that is going to be unfortunately removed from the game. Depending on the level of infraction, some people may be welcome to restart, while other people won't be welcome back. How did Nasomi get so awesome? Hard work and perseverance. Don't give up. Yeah, anything you do, you know, it's you can't fail until you give up. As long as you haven't given up yet, you haven't failed. You know, constant work and trying to work harder and make things better. Yeah, just hard work and perseverance. Will you ever change OWNMs to force pop using a BCNM orb? No, that doesn't make sense. You know, we have a time version and we have a pop version. The pop version is you trade your orb, you enter a fight, and you do BCNM. The time version is you know, the OWNMs that will pop on a 12 to 24 hour basis. And you know, if you're low on seals, you know, it doesn't make sense to do that. However, I'm working on adding the TOD preservation for the OWNMs, and I'm working on the OWNMs for I forget. But I've already fixed the OWNM crashing the zone if you zone them. So that's good. Some people saw me a couple days ago in the Temple of Ugly People when I zoned the OWNM about 50 times. You know, I was playing around with that, and it was on the new code, no crashes. I went out to go to the bathroom, and somebody stole the OWNM from me. So, cheers to those guys. You got a set on you. New subscriber. Actually, how many are we up to now? I have no idea. I don't even know how to YouTube. It's in the channel. Hey, 490 subscribers. That's cool. Alright, back to Q&A. Any word in Assault? Assault is down the lines. Assault is coming after the ZNMs. Yeah, I thought I was gonna sneak through and push all those real quick. But their AI turned out to be a lot more complicated than I thought it was gonna be. But still, I started down that road now, and I'm committed to it, so yeah. Also, there is a new ticket system, old ticket system, coming called JIRA. We're bringing JIRA back. Some of you may remember it from back in the day. We had that system where players could log in, they could submit a ticket, and then I would respond to the ticket. When the ticket was gone, you wouldn't have to stay in that chat, sending your private messages and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that system got overwhelmed. People were doing a whole bunch of stuff, you know, a whole bunch of irrelevant tickets, things that weren't very useful. Fortunately, I found a spam bot that will automatically delete pointless and useless tickets. It's called Nabutso, who has volunteered to trash all those tickets for me and only keep the relevant ones. So that's coming. Hopefully that'll make bugs and tickets a little bit less painful. Oh, wow. Thank you. Nice beard. I worked hard on it. I grew it myself. Yeah, it's very handy. It catches my crumbs, so I can have a little snack for later on. It absorbs my beer foam and prevents it from entering my mouth. Unfortunately, I do need to towel it off pretty regular. Yes, I do pour my own beer. I pour my beer aggressively, as fast as I can, to make as much head as possible, which removes as much air, well, in this case nitrogen, as possible from the actual beer. I don't prefer carbonated beverages. I like my beverages flat. If I open a Coke or a Pepsi or a Sprite, I shake them up real good beforehand and, decarbonate them a bit. I like my Guinness because it has a nitrogen brew versus a carbon dioxide. It's less fizzy, less foamy, less gas, and less complaining from my wife. If you sent me a private message in Nest Chat about an issue you had with the mission, I'll get it eventually. Right now it's either 3 or 4 days lag time. Waiting lists. Currently we're looking into an issue with storage slips. It's either all or nothing. If you take one thing out, you lose everything on that slip. And there really isn't a log of it, so it's kind of complicated. But yeah, we're trying to work on that. Storage slips weren't even supposed to be enabled to begin with, so apparently I hit the switch by accident and people have been using them. How many ounces does that mug hold? It has, so these are 15-ounce beers, and this holds 2.5 beers, so 15, about 42. Is that right? Math? Yeah, 42. Yes, if you came back from a long break, I actually thought I deleted all those Bonanza marbles. Pretty sure I did. Anyway, if I didn't, yeah, you can toss them. The winners have been selected, and their items have been awarded to that from the Mog Bonanza. Eric Schneider, where do we pose questions at? So if you log into Nasumi.com, go to the account page, go into the maintenance tab, and then there is Q&A questions you can submit. Will Last Synth ever work? No. No, it won't. It's terrible. I know it sucks with those 8 ingredient recipes. Cooking is terrible. Alchemy is great. But yeah, Last Synth will not work. Status on Paladin cover. Paladin cover is fixed in the new code. I tested it many times. Currently I have North Gustavberg S on it, the North Gustavberg in the south, and I've been testing that code for the range stuff and the cover stuff and all that fun stuff, or fishing. Yeah, I really wish I could make this chat thing bigger, because these questions are scrolling by, and oh, wait a minute, I can pop out chat. Can I resize it then? Waiting. Oh, cool! I can pop out chat and resize it, and it makes it a lot bigger. Aha. And because of the Puppet Master and the treasure stuff, I found some errors, so there's also going to be a melee revamp. So I'm working on that too. It's just like some things, you know, when you start on it, it opens up a huge can of worms, and you're like, wow, this is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. When is BCNM 60 going to be re-enabled to get the K Club? BCNM, actually that's supposed to be, K Club is supposed to drop. Yeah, it's supposed to drop. The Octave Club comes from the BCNM. The K Club comes from the Monster. It should, I think. How dumb is this? Pretty dumb. Pretty dumb. Alright, next questions. Have you ever considered adding something like WoW's Armory, or what Final Fantasy Auction House site did, where we can look at other people's gear and professions and stuff like that on the site? There currently is no plan for that. You know, it's not. The game isn't meant to be played on the website. The game is meant to be played in the world of Vana'diel. So I'm trying to minimize the interaction with the website and maximize the interaction with the actual game. Is there any plans to address the zone crashing things while zoning in Alliance? Yes, we're working on that. It's frustrating, yes, I know. If you have a problem, disband your Alliance before you zone. Really easy. It doesn't happen on party party anymore. Summoner, elemental, avatars, and spirits get casting. Working on that. Same time, we're going to be detuning their melee damage. It was a either or. You know, we didn't have the AI for the sprites to cast spells, but so I beefed up the damage for the melee in conjunction for that. You know, it has to be rebalanced, and it's going to be something. Octave does not work like it does on retail here. Or it shouldn't. It shouldn't be only multiples of 8. It should be just the rare EX version of the Kraken Club. Are you going to fix ENMs anytime soon or not planning? Have you listened to this stream at all or went into the website and looked at any of the updates? Does my wife help me run the server? Absolutely not. My wife is a wonderful woman. She's not very smart. So, you probably wouldn't want her anywhere near the code for this game. And I tell her it's a good thing she's pretty. Does MD gear work like it should? Yes, it does. When is Healing Ruby on Carbuncle going to be fixed? When Summoner gets its revamp. Does she know the happiness that you've brought thousands of people? Yes, and she doesn't care. She hates everybody. Fortunately, except for me. But yeah, she's a very angry woman. Very small, angry woman. She's like 4'9". She's Thai, so you know those people run small, but she's extra small. So yeah, she's a very small, angry woman. What she lacks in height, she makes up in volume, and walking. I mean, I swear to God, she's like 100 pounds soaking wet, and I can hear her anywhere in the house, anytime. Yeah, it's just crazy. She's the loudest person I've ever heard. Well, the loudest, smallest person. It's like a ratio, the size to loud ratio, I guess. But yeah, she's itty bitty. Anyway, a little off track. Is there a way to remove guild from the population? Race changes after the second. There's no plans to add second or a third race change. You've already changed your race twice. That's it. There will be no limit on hourglasses for the hourglass. So you can make as many hourglasses as you want. You know, if you're gathering for the whim and you feel like being nice and shouting, hey, if anybody wants to you know, grab the win real quick. Yeah, that's up to you, but you have to give them the hourglass yourself. Alright. Why can't we search the mod locker in the storage section of the account page? That is the first I'm hearing about it. I'll make a note. You should be able to go to the mod locker. I'll take a look at it. Was there a stealth nerf to fishing? No. No, there wasn't. That fishing update didn't happen yet, and the catch rate is not going to be adjusted. So fishing will look and feel the same to you as it always was if you were not fish botting. Can you fix fishing gear? Yeah, that should be easy enough. I should take into account. I'll make a note of that one for fishing gear. That's easy enough. I've been meaning to do it. I just have forgotten every time I've gone into it. I'm aware that Shadowbind and Bind should be different things, but they're treated as the same thing. It's on my list of things to do. What is the concern for not allowing more than one character on an account? I suggest 2 or 3 tunes. I suggest 2 or 3 tunes per account, so the players can take a holiday from Gawka to explore their inner Taru. There being 5 races or not in all. I think the tunes tells us enough about this guy. That pesky unable to see bug was fixed last 2 minutes ago. Definitely fixed though. My Black Mage experience is bugged. Alright, all that should be fixed. If you have experience points bugged, if you're level cap when you shouldn't be. Toons is a toon from World of Warcraft because it looks like a cartoon, not this incredible, the incredible graphics of Final Fantasy XI, which are simply amazing. I mean, the game is beautiful. And even I myself downloaded the Dunes HD pack and installed it because anytime you went into the dunes and it was daylight, the sand looked like the surface of the sun. It looked like you were looking at the surface of the sun. So, yeah, this is much better. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, my wife is a real life Taru. She's about yay big. Alright, I'm about halfway through and wow, almost an hour in. Okay. Shadowbind, yes. Yuki, I'm not even gonna. Please disregard my question. You didn't have to tell me to disregard your question. Is there any plan on introducing the 4 remaining Final Fantasy XI jobs? Scholar, Dancer, Geo, or Rune Fencer? There is no plan on introducing those, no. Those came in later expansions, Wings of the Goddess, and what's that? Alderaan, Seekers of Alderaan, or something like that. Yeah, we don't feature those expansions. We're hard stop at Treasures, TOAU, and there's no plans on introducing anything further than that. Maybe in like 10 years, but who knows? Definitely not, though. Why is Relic Axe so bad? Maybe it's not the Relic Axe that's bad. Maybe it's you that's bad. Yeah. No. Zone crashing, H&M camps, mostly ground kings, becoming more and more frequent. We're working on that. OWM zoning is fixed. Alliance, we're working on. It's kind of difficult because, running this code in debug mode is very inefficient. It causes infinitely more lag. Like, we're sitting here at 103 people in the dunes, and we're running in release mode. If we're running in debug mode, we couldn't even have half those people without massive lag. So, we are still making changes on the prioritization for party packets and packets for the people around you, so that some of the lag should be alleviated. So yeah, we haven't forgotten, we haven't changed stuff like that yet, but it's not forgotten. When is Quartermaster going to be implemented from a party? Okay, so A, no when questions, but B, Quartermaster is definitely something I remember. Quartermaster is definitely something that should be implemented. It's not currently. I'm aware of that from my issues with Pepsi and Sprite. I would dump all Sprite's inventory, go farm the crap out of stuff on Pepsi with Puppet Master, or not Puppet Master, Summoner. But you couldn't set Quartermaster, so I had to go and lot everything on Sprite. But yeah, it's it would really be a nice feature to have. I'm surprised this is literally the first time somebody's asked for Quartermaster. Like in 5.5 years, almost 6 years. Are there any chances of upping the level sync to higher than 10 levels? No. Level sync is actually dynamic. It can be higher than 10 levels, but there has to be less than 600 people online. So, being as that there's right now, let's see, 1,500 people online? Yeah. Quartermaster is cool. Yeah, there's no plans to change level sync as of right now. Kubota or New Holland? Oh, man. Oh, you hit the nail on the head. Okay, so currently right now I have a Kubota and a New Holland. I have a New Holland, 1978 New Holland S14. I have two of them actually. One with a cab and front PTO and mid PTO. One with a rear lift and tiller and PTO. I love my New Holland. Seriously, it's a beast. But unfortunately, I don't use that as much anymore because I got the Kubota. The Kubota is a 4-wheel drive. It's a B8200. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, the Kubota was like the tractor that I grew up on. My father, or the New Holland was a tractor I grew up on. My father had the S14 1969 S14, and then I bought the 73 S14 when I moved into my house. But as far as modern New Hollands, the actual plans for my tractor were sold to Aaron's in '74. So the S4, they took over the S14, then they made the S15, S16, and S19. But yeah, they were a great utility tractor. The only problem with them was they weren't available with 4-wheel drive. They didn't have a standard 3-point hitch, and they didn't have the standard rear PTO. They had their own 16 spline rear PTO, so you had to use their accessories, and their accessories, as years went on, became increasingly difficult to find. So I bought the Kubota B8200. It's also a hydrostatic 4-wheel drive. Had a manual steering when I bought it. I built my own power steering system and adapted that to it. So, yeah, and then I built a cab for it. It was my first aluminum cab. Well, it has a steel frame and then aluminum. I rigged up a front mount snowblower, rear mount blade. It has remote start. It has 4 ways. It has front and rear floodlights. It has a car stereo. It has Bluetooth. I can Bluetooth to it. It's really a nice tractor. Oh man, yeah, I spent a lot of time building that tractor. Yeah. Anyway, a little bit off topic. Do you farm for a living? Everybody's... Why would you have a gear transmission if you can have a hydrostatic? Yes, you have more power to the ground with a gear transmission, but a hydrostatic allows you infinitely variable speed. You know, sometimes when you're tilling and when you're snow blowing, you know, you need to adjust the speed on a very, very small level. Whereas with a gear, you just can't do that. You have big chunks. Yeah, 3-speed, 4-speed, 5-speed. It's just not practical for the applications that I'm using. And as far as, you know, the mowing, I actually bought a Kubota Z70. Oh God, that's terrible. I can't even remember what model my mower is. I mean, anyway, it says it's a zero turn. It's a Kubota zero turn 3-cylinder diesel with a 72-inch deck. You know, 11 miles an hour. I'm mowing, huge. It's a great zero turn. It's a Z72 or something. God. If someone was to steal it, how much would it be worth? So actually, it's funny because I bought that zero turn for $500 just for the engine alone because I was planning on building the generator myself, but I needed a diesel motor. I got the whole zero turn with a blown hydro motor, so I was able to rebuild that hydro motor and got a whole zero turn, like $10,000 zero turn for $500. It was beautiful. I spent $600 for a new faceplate for the hydro motor. Dynamis is not going to a 3-day lock. It's going to remain a 1-day lock. Yeah, she thinks my tractor's sexy. Dude, my wife does not go outside at all. She doesn't. She's... So, Thai culture is a funny thing. Being as pale as possible is considered the thing of beauty, whereas if you're tan, that means you're poor. Because poor people, or tan people, or poor people have to work outside and then become tan. Whereas if you can work inside, then you're pale, and then that means that you have money. So it's a funny thing like that. My wife will not work in the garden, work in the yard, pick up sticks, pick up leaves, do anything like that. So she doesn't help at all like that, and she could not care less about my tractors. Yeah, I have 7 or so right now. There's the Oliver 77 Industrial with a Super 88 motor swap, a Ferguson T53 T50 Ferguson with a front mount loader, the Kubota, 2 Kubotas, the New Holland, 2 New Hollands. Erasing artifact memory is on its way. I'm working on that. Would you give somebody who leveled all 75 jobs, all jobs to 75 dancer? No. There's multiple people that have every job at 75. They have no life, pretty sure. But yeah, there's not getting dancer. Actually, it should roll over. It should. If you get every job to 75, it should roll over to 1. There you go. That will teach them to go outside. Alright, let's see. Anything else? What do we got next? Third-party programs are not permitted in any way. If you want to do anything like that, contact me directly beforehand. Ooh, golden chest unlocked. Clash of Clans. Or no, Clash Royale or whatever. Hold on for a second, I gotta unlock another chest. 3-hour chest, that's good. A little bit of donations, alright. We're good. Alright, yeah, so so here's how it's gonna work. With the tier 1 ZNMs, the tier 1 ZNM gear will be purged. But there will be a buyback for tier 1. Then tier 2, when tier 2 comes, tier 2 will be purged, and etc. etc. There will be a buyback for all that stuff, though. Could you fix the Dragoon die price? It's swap with a Puppet Master die price. Something. Okay, so these are not questions that are relevant. These are questions that should be private messaged to me on Nash Chat, nasomi.com/chat or nasomi.net. That should work. They should come through there. It's the most effective way, because at the end of this stream I'm going to purge all these questions. Are there plans to allow us to pick the face's height, weight, or color, hair color of the race while changing? No. You change, you get what you get. How do I fix where my HP and MP say 0 and it won't let me cast any spells? You're dead, but sometimes that bug shows up. What the best way to fix that is to join a party and change the leader. Otherwise, log out and log back in. Yeah, and that should fix that. I'm aware of the Timmy bug, where it gets silenced to be stuck in the air. I'm aware of that. That should be in the next maintenance. Do you think it would be possible to add a rage timer to White Coney? Not till after treasures, summoner, revamp, melee revamp, and about a dozen other things that need to happen first. So, will you change the way to Hourglass, or will you change the way people access Dynamis back to the Hourglass system? This guy is seriously not watching the stream. Why would you ask that question? It was already answered. Please read this to yourself. Why is... Oh, wait. Is bait and switch disabled or just broken? I'm familiar with that one. I haven't had any complaints, so maybe you're doing something wrong. If not, send me a message. Are you an international super spy? No, I'm not. I'm just international super, not the spy part. Alright, we still have... Wow, we were getting through these. Recent ZNM windows in Dragon's Airy and Behemoth's Dominion have seen over 150 characters. So that's probably one of the focuses on getting away from the autoclaim zone, because autoclaim is more people, better chance to win, and focusing more on the actual fair claiming system. But we're not doing that until we can find a bot proof method, because people cheat and it's not fair. But yeah, also we're looking at optimizing zones in the code as well as possible. So suggestion: give White Coney a rage timer, or make it have draw in. Suggestion is White Coney. How long is it taking you guys to kill White Coney? It should take quite a while. I mean, he has a lot of hit points. Now, I'm glad he's popular, but yeah, Coney's one of the first. Yeah, Coney was an exciting mob to code. I mean, he was tough. It was actually based off of a mechanic that I used to play back in EverQuest like years ago. So White Coney goes through physical, or swaps physical and magical immunity based on his hit points. So it's kind of a fun, exciting mechanic that not a whole lot of Final Fantasy stuff revolves around. So yeah, and based on his form, he swaps form. That's when he swaps immunities. Maybe Rage is just a one-liner. Maybe White Coney will get that Rage timer next maintenance. Just be one line. Do you love Taro Taro? Yes. Taro Taro, little people. Yeah. Any plans to fix the crafting history? No. It's fun to put 7 items to craft over and over and over and over and over. But a break would be nice. No. Crafting isn't supposed to be easy. Crafting is supposed to be difficult and tedious and challenging and take a lot of time. And it's just not that easy. You know, it's supposed to be difficult because then when you get out of it, once you're level 100 or level 60 or whatever you level it up to, you know, you can make things for profit and for items. Is Quartermaster being worked on? Wow, that's in over 5.5 years. I haven't heard a word about Quartermaster, and now I hear it twice in 2 weeks. Yeah. Also, there's a couple exploit or counter exploit bugs coming in the next maintenance too, so some people are going to be very sad, and some people are going to be really sad because I've been tracking them and I know about an exploit and I know about the people using it. So, yeah, they're going to be sad. Did I fix Balcony by chance? Not yet. Is he broken? I don't know. I haven't even looked at his code in forever. Oh, what's the exploit? No, I'm not going to tell you the exploit. Or if I did tell you it and you used it, and then I removed you from the game, and then you would say, I didn't know. Would you please make OWNM's autoclaim? No. First you asked me to remove aggro. Now you're asking me to make it autoclaim. Like that doesn't really make sense because yeah, it would pop claim to some guy who's just running by, and that guy would be really sad. Is your beard red? Yes and no. So I have naturally blonde, dirty blonde hair. I don't know. It does seem like a tinge of red when I look in the mirror. I'm not sure. Not sure why. I've never had red hair. No, not a ginger or anything. Soulless bastards. But yeah, it's just kind of dirty blonde, brownish. Is there any plan on fixing the chat filters so they don't reset when zoning logging? Someday, at some point. Will Mannequin Quest ever get fixed? Yes. Mannequin is actually on my radar. And, yeah, then you'll be able to do the quest after that. So, yeah, it's definitely... Mannequin parts are going to be worthwhile sooner rather than later, hopefully. Does Enmity plus gear work as intended? Yes, it does. Enmity, I revamped that system like 3 years ago. So it definitely works. I want a rage timer for White Coney. God, how many questions are these about White Coney? Like, this is the 5th one I've seen so far. I mean, I'm glad he's popular, but... Alright, it looks like it's through the Q&A questions. If I didn't get to your question, or if I missed your question, or if your question was bad, try to submit it again, or send your question on NASChat, or... if a lot of these questions weren't relevant for the stream, they weren't content related. They were, oh, my bug happened, this, send, if you have a bug, if you have a problem, beasts have sick. So, can we, alright. Wait a minute, this is a bad idea. Uh-oh. And 27 people here. God. These bad people. Yeah, don't cheat or else you're gonna end up there. That's a bad place. Hey, I just fixed this guy's problem. Or this guy's wife's problem. Apparently, his wife was like leveling a mule in his mule slot. And he made another character. It's Megs or Meg S with a Z. But yeah, so yeah, if you have two separate people, you should have two separate accounts, form accounts, with each having a set of 3 characters. So don't, like, your wife wants to play, oh, I'll just tack her onto my mule account. That's not the way it works. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I went through the questions. If you have any questions, if you have anything else, content related, bug related, not bug related, bug related. If your character is bugged, if you have a problem with your individual character, report it in NASChat, nasumi.com/chat or nasumi.net. If you have... Oh, apparently, before I go, I totally forgot to hit the save button on the Gavi Bag 75 and 80 items, it turns out. So, they aren't in-game. But they will be after next patch. So, look forward to it. Try and find them, see what they are. Anyways, gonna wrap it up. Good luck, guys. Have fun. Be good, play fair, and have a good evening. See ya.